Hello, and welcome to my interview with Parrot People in celebration of the launch of my latest picture book, Chloe the Unfeathered Parrot, which was released on June 18th. Today's guest is Linda of Parrot Adoptions Ontario. Linda, welcome, and please tell us about Parrot Adoptions Ontario and basically how it works, what it is, and how it came to be.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And my pleasure. I did write a few notes, so I will be looking down.
No problem.
Okay. We're two volunteers, Linda, that's me, and Anne-Marie, who started Parrot Adoptions Ontario 3 years ago. And we now have 4,700 members, and we have found great homes for 188 birds. Parrot Adoptions Ontario provides a service for people looking to find a new home for their bird and for people looking to adopt a bird. We operate as a Facebook group. The rehome family must complete an application telling us about the bird, and we do a write-up of the bird on our page along with a picture of the bird. And interested people read our page, and they submit an application to adopt along with pictures of their home. And we review the application, ask questions, and forward their application to the rehome family. And if the rehome family is interested, they contact the applicant. The decision to adopt is made by the rehome family, not by us. We advise and we play a supportive role, very often being emotional support, since giving up a beloved bird can be a very upsetting experience for people. We do not charge a fee and there's no money involved. So that's a little bit about how we work.
Very cool, very cool. And forgive me if you said this, how long have you been operating?
3 years.
3 years, 3 years, terrific. What is it that you wish that more people knew about the privilege and commitment of adopting and living with a parrot, basically?
Okay, parrots live long lives, up to 80 years or more years, and they are a huge commitment, and they require a lot of your time. People don't realize that.
No.
They're very sensitive and they're very intelligent. They're not to be left in a cage by themselves for hours with no stimulation. They're messy and they're noisy. They love you on their terms, not on your terms. You have to love them and accept them for what they are, not for what you want them to be. No expectations. You have to respect them and they will respect you.
And it seems to me from the conversations I have been having with parrot people that these needs that they have are very much like any other animal that you would want, but it's almost exponential. Like take the care involved with a dog and the needs that they have, a cat, and their affection being on their terms.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like parrots, need these things as well, but times 10 or 100 even, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
People think it's very simple. They look at a beautiful bird. They see, oh, these are beautiful colors. I want that bird. And they don't do their research. And they get the bird, and down the line, maybe 6 months or a year, it's like, I don't have time for this bird. It's too demanding. I need to rehome the bird. And they come to organizations like us, which there aren't too many of, and we try and help them.
Fantastic. And so, excuse me, I guess the biggest takeaway is do your research before, making this big commitment.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But people
Absolutely.
don't.
No, it can be very similar with other exotic animals, which is why I also wrote a book called Tamara Turtle's Life So Far, because they have often been impulse spies, red-eared slider turtles, and that simply cannot be. They're much higher maintenance than people think.
Mm-hmm.
And parrots, I am gathering, are even more so. So it's even not that you want to make a snap decision about any pet, absolutely. But for parrots, this goes
Definitely.
It is even more important to do that research and know what you're getting into.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, well, so what does make an ideal home and an ideal parrot adopter in general for birds and parrots?
Okay, so I would think that an ideal forever home, you have to spend a lot of time with the bird, give the bird lots of mental stimulation. It needs a lot of toys, a lot of human interaction, and perhaps interaction with other birds, a varied diet, lots of out of cage time, a cage size appropriate to the type of bird. And the biggest thing is respect for their wants and needs. And you have to show them a lot of love. And in return, you'll get love. And you have to have a lot of patience also. It takes a long time sometimes for them to come around. So I guess that would be an ideal forever home.
Right. And again, the time that it takes them to come around, again, this is true across the spectrum of rescue animals. And I would suspect, once again, for parrots and birds, it is even more so the case, eh?
Sometimes it takes a long time, and sometimes it's really surprising. It doesn't take that long. You never know. They're all different.
All individuals, just like everybody else.
That's right.
I was going to ask you, when you say they need a lot of stimulation, what are some of the things people can do to provide their parrots with stimulation?
Well, there's one thing that a lot of people talk about is foraging. And foraging is making the bird work for some food or some kind of a treat that they want. It can be very simple as wrapping a treat in some paper and having them unwrap the paper, or putting things in egg cups. And they can be more difficult. You can buy foraging toys at the pet store. I have a few for my cockatoo. One of them, he doesn't do it, but he's supposed to unwind different compartments and take things out of things. It takes a lot of their brain power. So things like that is stimulation, and any kind of toys for them. They move around and do different things. So mostly, I guess it's a lot of foraging toys.
Yeah. Right. Cool. And of course, as you had mentioned, interaction with their human, as long as that's what they're wanting in the moment, I take it.
Right. And my cockatoo doesn't want to do something, he won't do it. Totally up to him.
Yeah, well, that's sensible. Would you please share maybe one or two of your biggest adoption success stories?
Okay, I'll share one of them that really comes to mind. It's kind of like a few months after we started, and we really didn't know how birds would react in different homes. And so we came across a situation where an owner had passed away, and the friend took the bird and asked us to help her find a home for the bird. So the bird was 25 years old, and he was an African gray, and the owner, believe it or not, had kept him in a very small cage on top of the fridge. And for 20 years, he was never let out of the cage. He was very aggressive and territorial, frustrated and angry. His diet consisted of sunflower seeds, which is not a diet for a parrot, and human food. And Anne-Marie and I, we thought nobody's ever going to adopt him, and this bird will never come around. We just felt horrible. But somebody stepped up, and they were interested in adopting him, and they are a great family. They changed his name. They changed his diet. They gave him love and a lot of toys and human interaction and mental stimulation. And in a few weeks, he became a changed bird, and he was happy, loving, giving kisses. Anne-Marie and I were totally shocked because we didn't know that this could ever happen.
Wow.
But that was our biggest success story, actually. And we do have a lot of success stories, but that one really sticks out in our mind.
Oh, wonderful. And just out of curiosity, what is the lifespan approximately of an African gray parrot?
I'm not 100% sure, maybe about 60 years.
Okay.
50,
So
60 years.
He still had a lot of time left to turn things around. Yeah. So he's going to have...
As far as I know, he's doing really well. A lot of people, they still contact us, which we love. They give us updates on the birds, so we know what's going on, and we really like that. when they do that. We also have another Facebook page called Parrot Adoptions Ontario Chat. So people come onto that page and they chat about the birds they've adopted, or they ask questions, and you've been on the page talking about your book. So we learn a lot about birds that way as well. So it's fun. We do a lot of work.
Yeah, absolutely. You do. I know. As I have tried to help in a little small way, do a few videos here and there.
Definitely. We
appreciate
parrots.
It. Yeah, no problem. Parrots needing to find their new homes and so forth. Like I also do with THS and Little Rescue and other rescues and stuff like that too. The Annex Cat Rescue. Now, before
we treat the birds, the birds as if they were our own birds, and we're very particular about what homes they go to. Like I say, we don't choose the homes, but we give a lot of advice. We give our comments, and we treat them like they were our own birds. So it's a lot of work, but it's very satisfying.
I bet. And it's fabulous that you do it, because as you said, there aren't many organizations out there for birds. No, which is sad, and hopefully can change, and you guys get even more help down the road.
Yeah.
So let's repeat before I wrap up and say goodbye. We could repeat how either people who would like to help you out and volunteer in some way, or people who are looking for help rehoming their birds, what are the best ways to find you?
Well, we're on Facebook, so they go to Facebook and they put in Parrot Adoptions Ontario, and then they have to answer 3 questions if they want to join the group. If they won't answer the questions, they can't join the group. It says black and white, but they don't always answer the questions. So basically, they just can write that way to answer the questions, and we always get back to everybody very quickly. Or they can email myself or Anne Marie. I think our email's on the page.
Okay.
But the best way is just to go to Parrot Adoptions Ontario and ask to join and answer the questions.
Terrific. And I will leave that information, a link to the Facebook group and so forth, below this video on my site, so that people can find you very easily with a simple click. So,
and the one important thing is there's no money involved.
Yeah.
If people want to charge for their birds, we're not in the business of selling birds. People don't really want to go to Kijiji. We don't know anything about Kijiji really, but they don't really like it. But we're not in the business of selling birds, and no money.
Yeah.
It's just we look for a really good home for the birds.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today and answering my questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was fun.
Hi, I just wanted to pop back into this interview and give you another of Linda's success stories, a personal success story actually, a Senegal parrot named Stanley, who is actually in her home that she wanted to share with you. And I will also post her own words in the blog for you to read as well. But she was volunteering at the SPCA when one of the staff came to her to let her know that Stanley, then called Kiwi, who had been picked up from an abandoned home where he was found with cockroaches in his cage, black water, and Fruit Loops to eat, living with cats and dogs. And he was a big mess himself. He had plucked somewhat and was very anxious, rocking back and forth constantly, rolling his tongue around in his mouth for some reason. Anyway, would Linda like to take him? The people who were originally going to take him from the SPCA had changed their mind, so Linda did take him, and he is now 100% a different bird. He is calm. He has a calm home filled with kindness and love and nutrition. And so that's Linda's more personal parrot success story with Stanley, as you can see from these before and after pictures. he is doing a heck of a lot better, and he is in this happy, happy home where he has bonded well with her husband.